Seeing how Final Fight characters just started showing up in Street Fighter. It is easy enough to throw in characters from series that are in the same universe, but could characters outside the Street Fighter universe fit in? Well, Street Fighter 6 seems like a good place to test it out with its battle mechanics. Here is my list of Capcom characters that could play well as guest characters in Street Fighter 6. So, let's get into it. Now, I will split this list up into 5 characters from the Street Fighter franchise or shared universe and 5 characters from outside the Street Fighter universe. First up, Gunlock from Slam Masters series. This would be the last piece to the Street Fighter shared universe being included into Street Fighter games. The Slam Masters series has been ignored, and with Capcom bringing back old fighting games, I hope this gets included if it hasn't already. Gunlock has enough good connections to be included. He is a former student of Mike Hager and has gotten into a fight with Cody over Jessica. He is rumored to be related to Guile due to their similar fighting techniques. Was mentioned in Hugo's ending in Street Fighter 3, Second Impact, and was said to be in Street Fighter the movie game as Blade Undercover. Well, now would be a great time to bring him or someone from the series back. The next character, Maple Storm from Street Fighters at Washigahama, Japan Women's Pro Wrestling. Out of all the wrestlers in this organization, she seems to be one that would be different enough to add new gameplay. As an IJWPW rookie, she virtually has a clean slate and could be made a move list that could be based off her time playing football and her new wrestling moves. Plus, this brings in another Canadian into gameplay, as more representation from other country would be nice to see. Next up, Momotaro from the Shadaloo Combat Research Institute website. He is based on the main character of Capcom's pirate ship Hijamaru and was reimagined along with Beard and Bao. He was considered to be put into Street Fighter V, but ultimately was left out the game for Birdie to be brought back. His history says that he has also fought against Ryu at some point in the past. Well, let's have that be something that drives him and his goals in Street Fighter 6. He would definitely bring a new style of fighting into the game. Since I mentioned reimagined, the next character is Ruby from the Shadaloo Combat Research Institute website. She is based off of Ruby Hart, an original character who appeared in Marvel vs. Capcom 2, New Age of Heroes. Ruby is the youngest child in a family of fishermen, which include her older brothers Momotaro, Bose, and Beard. She is a strong-willed individual with hopes of becoming a pirate like her father was. Her quest and her brothers could line up and bring a new element into the Street Fighter games. Having a quest for the Avatar to go out on sea would be nice. She could have moves that are sort of like Ruby Hart's, but different in execution and effects. Last character on the Street Fighter shared universe is Strider Hiryu from the 2014 reboot Strider. With the introduction of Ziku, his goals, and his nickname Original Strider, it's safe to assume that this reboot is a part of the Street Fighter shared universe, but in the fair future. His playstyle could be reminiscent of his appearance in Capcom Fighting All-Stars, but updated and fixed for the mechanics of this game. His appearance could be the telling of a future threat to Earth coming sooner than it was supposed to, and his has arrived to help this era fight off these invaders. He travels around facing the strongest fighters to see if they have what it takes to combat Mayo's army. Now, you would think if there were any characters to make it into Street Fighter 6 as guest stars, it would first come from another Capcom IP. Since it wasn't, here are the 5 characters outside of the Street Fighter shared universe who I think would be great and interesting to include, with the first one being Simone from Cannon Spike Gun Spike. She is one of the playable characters and one of the 2 original characters in the game. Despite only being indirectly connected to the Street Fighter series, she was adapted into its universe and given a profile in the Shadaloo CRI character guide. Well, make it official in the games, as she has connections with M16 and Cammy. Her backstory could be the same, as she is a mercenary for hire that frequently works with M16. She is told to help Cammy on her mission of locating Bison and ending Shadaloo for good before it rises up again. Her move list is already set and could be modified for the game mechanics. The next character from one of Capcom's other IPs. Gregorio from Beat Down, Fist of Vengeance. He was the drug kingpin Zanetti's right-hand man who was determined to become the boss and the one in charge of running the drug refinery. This is one of the guys I thought fit right into Final Fight when I first played against him. Since we know Final Fight characters work well in Street Fighter, why not him? His attack moves would add a boxer-style fighter into the game that would be different from Ed and any other boxer like Mike, Balrog, or Dudley, so they wouldn't get replaced by this guy. His backstory would involve him making deals with the Mad Gear Gang, being his reason for showing up in Metro City. Moving on to the next character on this list. Nathan Spencer from Bionic Commando 2009. Now this game gave me mixed feelings when playing and the story was just awful, but the character himself I did like. I would most definitely change his backstory like Capcom did for Momotaro. Erasing his wife arm situation and just have him as a possible super soldier experiment the United Nations did to help fight overpowered villainous organizations. His move list would resemble his Capcom versus, but fixed for the Street Fighter world, and of course give him some new moves as well. Next up, Myling from Red Earth. Now, thanks to Manat's Crystal Ball, Street Fighter gained a strong connection to the Red Earth series. Which leads me to the one character that gets no real love outside of Red Earth, Myling. Just like Hiryu came from the future, Myling could have came from the past. As she was picking up one of Ravon's eyes, she was transported to the present, where the eye has been used. She seeks out the one who used its power as it may be a threat needed to be eliminated. The move list is one that is easy to adapt into Street Fighter and would be interesting to see being done under Street Fighter SIXS mechanics. The last character up. Wantang from Power Stone. Now his appearance is similar to Yun's, but Yun is not in the game. His reason for being here would be simple as his master sending him on a mission for training by facing the strongest warriors in the world. Since Capcom was able to turn Tekken moves into Street Fighter Ike moves, I know they can give Wantang some extra moves outside of his power drives and power fusion moves. Being Street Fighterized, his power drives would be included in his special moves while his power fusions would be his supers. His power change would be a super move and I would adopted the anime version. With him having one power stone and being able to use it to increase the power of his normal attack and give his specials wind element since he holds the wind stone. To me, this would be as close as we could get to see a Ryu versus Goku fight, unless Capcom make that crossover. With this list concluded, I think it would be nice to see more Capcom characters get thrown into main fighting game series and not just crossovers, as long as they fit within the universe. The Final Fight crew were the first to show that it's possible. Then Akira from Rival Schools showed that it could happen again. If there are characters from the Street Fighter shared universe or other Capcom IPs I didn't include, put them down in the comment section for me to read. Until next time, Warriors.